make sauerkraut. I'm going to peel off the first few outer leaves and discard those. Okay. I'm going to actually save them and give them to my chickens. Then I'm going to save a leaf from each one. Okay. Now I'm just going to cut these up into shreds, put it into a large bowl of salt, and then pack it into my jars. Now the benefits of kraut, other than it's a tasty, crunchy, sour side dish. It also has a lot of natural probiotics, which can really aid in digestion. I find that having a side of sauerkraut a few times a week really helps me in my digestion. Now, I've seen some recipes call for a tablespoon of salt per cabbage head. I actually use 2 or 3 because I prefer a more salty product. But by all means, start with 1 and then you can work your way up from there. One entire head of cabbage. Measure some salt out. This is just sea salt. I'm going to massage it in. And then I'm going to let it sit for a little while so that it'll somewhat wilt down and be easier to pack into the jars. It'll soften it up just a little bit. I'll come back in about 20-30 minutes and pack those in. a little bit of juice, but not a lot. So I'm going to add some water just to make sure this is fully covered. Then I'm going to take the cabbage leaf I set to the side. I'm going to pack that down so that it forms a seal. And make sure that everything is under that water. Nothing's poking up. Check this every day, and as things float to the top, I will spoon it out with a spoon, and that will keep it from growing any kind of mold or yuckiness that doesn't need to be in there. Just going to set this lid loosely. It's just on top, it's not sealed. And that will allow it to burn as it ferments. I like to ferment mine for a couple of weeks before I eat it. Some people eat it as, in less than a week. It's just how sour you want it. And I will keep an eye on that for the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to pack another jar. I may need to cut my other cabbage. We'll see. And then we'll hopefully have sauerkraut in a couple of weeks. If it bubbles over, it does not create a mess. Slide it over this way. Next thing I want to get ready going is my sourdough starter. It is not active right now. I just pulled it out of the refrigerator. So I'm going to feed it with some equal parts flour and water. This is unbleached all-purpose flour. That was half a cup. I'll probably give it a full cup of flour and a full cup of water. Filtered water from the refrigerator. Give that a good stir. Going to kind of have the consistency of pancake dough. Really get those sides scraped down because it's got a lot of good yeast in it. Get all the way down to the bottom. That lid back on oven to warm it up right now. So take this little pan, my sourdough starter that's just been fed. I'm going to set it on top of my heater. And that is going to heat up my sourdough starter and cause it to become bubbly and active at a quicker rate. That way, I can start some sourdough before bed tonight. I want to have a fresh loaf of sourdough this week for breadcrumbs for a meatloaf. Alright, a wintertime favorite, I think, for pretty much every family around here anyway, is chili. So, we have a pound of deer sausage, the deer that was harvested by my husband, a jar of home preserved tomatoes to go in it. And we're just going to put everything into here and let it cook for the rest of the day. This will feed me and my husband for 2 or 3 days. Deer sausage is very lean, so I don't need to pre-brown the meat to cook the fats out of it. There's not a lot of fat in it, so it will cook beautifully in the crock pot. I will break it up a little bit. Going to dice 1 large onion and 1 large bell pepper to go in as well. A heaping tablespoon of garlic. A full packet of chili seasoning of your choice. And then I like to add tomato juice. This is a spicy tomato juice. If you like a thick chili, skip this step. I like a soupy chili, so I will go in with half of a jar. And then as we heat this up, I'll use the other half jar throughout the week. Okay, we'll let this cook on low for the rest of the day, and we'll have a delicious, easy dinner tonight that is warming and filling and took no time at all. Cooking makes lots of dishes. Okay, it's been about 3 hours. It's still coolish to the touch on the outside, but not cold like straight from the refrigerator. It is definitely active now. It has not doubled. I'm gonna give it another hour or so, and then we'll get our bread started. see if we've got any eggs. They're laying a little less right now because of the cold, but we might have one or two. Let's take a look. We've got one. There we go. Beautiful brown egg. All right. This is a very sticky dough. Very hydrated. I'm using the buttermilk sandwich bread recipe from Farmhouse on Boone. I'll link it down below. Her sourdough recipes have worked out for me really well so far, so I would recommend them. I'm going to pour this out into an oiled bowl. Passes the window pane test, so we will let that sit. Alright, cover with a damp towel and let it sit until tomorrow morning, 10 to 12 hours. So let's go put it in a warm spot. Rather than place directly on the heating stove, I'm actually going to put it right here on the dresser beside the stove. It's nice and warm. Be there till tomorrow morning. Okay, last thing today is going to be cornbread made with buttermilk. And I'm using the recipe on the back of the cornmeal bag. Milling Company cornmeal. Just use whatever cornmeal you prefer. Substituting regular milk for just cultured buttermilk. Your batter sit for a few minutes. It will get bubbly, and that will make for a lighter cornbread. While that is sitting, go ahead and preheat your cast iron skillet in a 425 degree oven. For my vintage oven, I will do 375